But it's hard though, like, I don't know, as a Latin person, it's really, really hard to understand that part of growing up and part of providing to yourself and to your family is also providing a normal person, a sane person, and not an overworked person. And that's hard. That's like a hard line.
Alrighty, folks, we are back, or we are here. We are settling into the zoo, and we're gonna settle in even more so by sitting down on this fabulous couch and my lovely couch chair. At the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Wow. You do it very silently, you know?
Like a pantomime.
Yeah, I like to scream it all out. I like to let it all out.
I was very quiet, actually, but, you know, I had it all in.
Okay.
I had a big lunch. I want to be light on the surface here. I'm new here. I want to respect the couch.
Guys, get ready to let it all out because we are going to talk about today's big deal. Alrighty, so today's big deal is immigrant mentality, and I mean, my parents are immigrants. Who are any of you two immigrants?
I am.
You are from where?
I'm from Mexico City. Originally born and raised.
Okay, and how long have you been over here?
Oh, only 8 months. So,
8 months?
Yeah, I'm pretty new to LA. I'm so excited.
Okay, so you really, really, really do bring that immigrant mentality with you. And Nikki, what about yourself?
My grandma was an immigrant. They sent her on a boat when she was 13 and she worked at a pretzel factory. She left her entire family behind. They put her on a boat all by herself.
What in the world? Okay, so I mean, have you guys heard of the term immigrant mentality before?
Yeah.
Okay, obviously that has to do with, you know, that just mentality of striving, making it in this country, working a little extra harder to make ends meet. Do you kind of have that attitude with you, or is that like a thing from the past?
No. Like you bring that every day because you're always like trying to prove that you belong.
Exactly.
And that sense of wanting to belong also makes you really work hard.
Right.
So I feel it also comes with a little bit more of confidence, right? But it works both ways. Either it can make you really hit it or make you really stay behind.
But I think the core of what it means is about, like you said, hard work.
Yeah.
It's about hard work and proving that you belong.
Like, I mean, you're what, like a third generation Italian maybe? So does that, like, did your parents still have that sort of mentality growing up? Did they impose that on you?
Yeah. No, we're very hard workers. You know, we come from a middle class family. We all had to work if we wanted to have dinner.
Like, what was your first job?
My first job was I worked as a host at a pizzeria, and they used to call me hostess. They used to call me. It was actually really horrible. They used to call me Nicole, but I got paid $5 an hour, which is illegal. Illegal, yes, right. And
Wait, that's legal or illegal?
Illegal.
Okay.
That's below minimum wage.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've never worked in a rrestaurant.
When I was 13.
Okay. You can work at a restaurant at age 13?
Illegally.
Illegally, okay.
Nicole the hostess was an illegal worker.
Let me know what restaurant it is so that I won't apply to it. I do not want to get paid $5 an hour.
It was a pizzeria.
Okay.
Wow.
And then Gina, what about yourself?
Well, I had so many jobs, like whatever job, like I'm an actor, so you do like babysitting, you do like personal assistant, or you know, any type of job that you can get to survive while you're auditioning.
Yeah, so, like growing up, my parents, you know, everybody somehow had a job. My dad had like maybe like 2 or 3 jobs at one point. And when I actually had a summer, you know, my first summer break from college, my father was so upset that I was just laying at home watching TV. He was like, "Oh no, you're gonna get off that couch and you're gonna go find a job." You know, the thought of not having a job, like, it made me feel guilty.
But what is it with like Latin parents? Like my dad, he's like, "You really need to work hard. Like you really need to sweat it, like so you know that you deserve it." And I'm like, oh. So all my life I've been like working really, really hard. And some things you don't have to push that hard. You know what I'm saying? Like you really need to relax.
But I think working builds character. Like, I'm proud to say, like, I've been working since I was 13. I come from a working class family, like, just like your dad. My dad had multiple jobs. He was a janitor. But it taught me that mentality that if you wanted to provide for your family and you want to make a living, you got to get up and go to work.
Yeah, of course. But then again, once you're up in that mentality of like working, you can also look at yourself and being like, wow, if I don't take care of myself, I won't be able to keep going.
I agree. I agree.
So it's like those two, which I think are very important.
Over the years, I've even felt guilty about not taking a break because I feel like it breaks me down. You know, I'm like, when in the world am I gonna stop working and just give myself a little bit of a life? Thank you.
Yeah, but it's hard though. Like, I don't know, as a Latin person, it's really, really hard to understand that part of growing up and part of providing to yourself and to your family, it's also providing a normal person, a sane person, and not an overworked person. And that's hard. That's like a hard line.
So I can relate to that.
So, I mean, perhaps some of that immigrant mentality is a little bit old school as well, because I feel like back then, you know, you're not thinking about your mental health, your like physical well-being. It's just like work.
Correct.
And do you think that maybe this is like a new millennial thing to actually think about other aspects of well-being?
Every time I was sick, it was get up. Get up and go to work.
Exactly.
I was like, please, I have pneumonia. Didn't matter. They're like, quick. But I do agree with you, because it is important to take care of yourself, because how will you be able to work?
Yeah, but then again, I don't know, like, you feel guilty, and
Right.
that's something, guilt comes with the Latin culture. So
Exactly, the whole Catholicism thing and whatnot. And then reading up on a bunch of different entrepreneurs that are from other countries and how successful they've been, like people behind eBay and other big major brands, you know, you're just thinking to yourself, okay, well, I mean, these people came with nothing and they're millionaires now. Why in the world can't I get up from bed even when I have pneumonia to build myself an empire?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I don't know. I feel like it ultimately depends on how do you want to be, you know, whether it's very successful and, you know, if the means are what you have to do, well, then you'll do it. But if not, you'll be like, okay, I'm comfortable here and that's okay too, which I don't know.
I think that success is a character flaw.
Okay.
I think that anybody who is really successful has some type of inadequacy that makes them want to work that hard. But I think that's what pushes people.
Okay, so you think it's like, you know, like when you go into a job interview, they ask you, what's your best quality and what's your, like, your biggest flaw? Is it like a good flaw, I guess?
It's a good flaw. I mean, I'm like, yeah, I'm missing part of my lung from when I worked with pneumonia. But
at least I was able to pay the bills.
I pushed through, I made it.
Right. Of course. You know, when my freshman year in college, we were talking about unemployment, and I was the only Latino, or one of the few Latinos on my floor. And I remember somebody said, so-and-so couldn't find a job. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You couldn't find a job? I'm sure if you wanted to find a job, even if it's as a janitor or picking up a piece of, you know, piece of dirt in the street, I'm sure you could find a job. And they were like, no, but it's really hard in some parts of the country. So I'll leave it at that. I don't know. Do you guys want to add one last
Well, I think,
piece of thought to that?
Yeah, I think ultimately, as whether you're an immigrant or not, it's how you want to present yourself, despite your race. Because I feel like you are the representation that you want to see all the time. So it's you who you put in front, you know, whether it's good work and hard work, or whether it's your lazy, you know, couch potato. I mean, it's about you.
It's in the soul.
Yes.